In the quiet spaces between heartbeats, where time seems to fold upon itself like a cosmic origami, there exists a subtle current, a whispering undercurrent threading through the fabric of our days and nights. This elusive phenomenon, known to mystics and seekers as synchronicity, beckons us from the shadows of ordinary perception into a realm where chance is but an illusion, and every moment wears the hidden face of destiny. It is here, in this liminal expanse between what we call coincidence and cosmic design, that a profound mystery stirs. A mystery woven from the shimmering threads of meaning behind seemingly random events, as if the universe itself were speaking in a language not of words, but of symbols, timing, and resonance. Imagine standing at the edge of an ancient forest, where moonlight filters through the dense canopy, casting shifting patterns that dance like riddles upon the forest floor. Each rustle of a leaf, each glint of light, is not merely a happenstance of nature but a signal encoded in the language of the unseen, an invitation to understand the deeper choreography at play. Synchronicity is much like this, a delicate, invisible dance of signs aligning precisely when the soul is most attuned, a magnetic pull echoing through the corridors of time and thought. It is the universe's secret script, handed down through the ages, inviting us to read between the lines of our everyday existence and glimpse the hand of an unfathomable intelligence guiding us toward an unfolding destiny. In our modern world, marked by the relentless hum of logic and the sharp lines of cause and effect, synchronicity slips quietly beneath the surface, often dismissed as mere coincidence or serendipity. Yet those who have paused long enough to listen report a different experience, moments where something greater than randomness orchestrates the convergence of seemingly unrelated events. A chance encounter sparks an idea that changes the course of a life. A recurring symbol appears in dreams and waking hours, nudging one's path in subtle ways. A sudden insight arrives not from effort but from the silent depths of being. These are not accidents but signposts, luminous fragments of a greater puzzle, shimmering just beyond the veil of the material world. This phenomenon is not simply about curiosity or curiosity's fleeting thrill. It points to the very architecture of reality, suggesting that beneath the surface chaos lies a profound order, a cosmic geometry etched into the underlying matrix of existence. Synchronicity, when perceived as such, becomes a mirror reflecting the dance between our inner world and the vast outer cosmos. It whispers to us that our individual stories are entwined with larger patterns, that our personal journeys ripple into collective consciousness, and that destiny is less a fixed script than a flowing river shaped by the interplay of choice, chance, and meaning. To engage with synchronicity is to step into a grander narrative where time and space lose their rigid boundaries. Events unfold not in a linear chain, but as a constellation, a celestial map where each star glows with resonant meaning, and navigation requires intuition as much as intellect. It is a call to awaken from the trance of mechanistic thinking, inviting us to recognize the sacred geometry of moments that align as if woven by an unseen hand. Like a cosmic heartbeat pulsing through the fabric of our days, synchronicity reveals that the universe is not a cold machine, but a living, breathing organism in which we are active participants, co-creators of our destiny. This awakening to the mystery of synchronicity brings with it a profound shift in perception. Life takes on a new texture, rich with symbolism and significance. The mundane becomes miraculous, a tapestry where every thread is imbued with purpose. We begin to recognize the subtle languages of the universe, the repeated numbers that catch our eyes, the fleeting encounters that linger in memory, the signs that summon us to pause, reflect, and choose. There is a deepening awareness that beneath the surface of apparent randomness lies an interconnectedness as intimate and vast as the universe itself. Yet this mystery is not simply an abstract philosophical puzzle or an esoteric curiosity. It holds practical, transformative power. To live consciously with synchronicity is to open a door into a way of being where intuition and reason harmonize, where the soul's voice can be heard amidst the distractions of modern life. It is the awakening of a kind of inner compass, calibrated not by fear or habit, but by resonance with the unfolding flow of existence. Such awakening can guide us through the labyrinth of decisions, relationships, and challenges with a sense of grace and alignment that transcends mere luck. In the grand cosmic theater, each of us is both actor and audience, weaving our destinies through choice and surrender, through awareness and trust. The mystery of synchronicity invites us to become skilled interpreters of the subtle messages embedded in the everyday, a sacred alchemy that transforms ordinary moments into gateways of insight and empowerment. It calls us to remember that we are not isolated islands adrift in a meaningless void, but integral nodes in a vast living web, where every thread matters and every moment pulses with potential. As this exploration unfolds, we will journey deeper into the core concepts that illuminate synchronicity's nature, unpack ancient wisdom and symbolic narratives that surround it, and reflect on how this cosmic dance can be integrated into practical, real-world living. Ultimately, we will arrive at a space of transformation, a place where the mystery ceases to be a mere enigma and becomes a living, breathing guide to uncovering your own unique destiny. For within the delicate folds of synchronicity lies not only a riddle of the universe, but the key to awakening the latent alchemist within, turning the lead of mundane existence into the gold of conscious presence and meaningful becoming. Thus, as the veil lifts ever so slightly, inviting you to peer beyond the ordinary, remember, the universe has always been whispering secrets in the language of signs, timing, and connection. To listen is to step into a sacred dialogue between self and cosmos, where the mystery of synchronicity is not just a phenomenon to be observed, but a sacred pulse that carries you onward into the unfolding story of your destiny. To embark upon the deeper currents that underlie synchronicity is to enter a realm where time itself seems to fold and unfold simultaneously, where the linear march of cause and effect dissolves into a luminous dance of meaning beyond reason. At the heart of this mystery lies an ancient paradox. The universe, in all its vastness and complexity, choreographs moments where chance and destiny entwine so seamlessly that the veil between inner and outer worlds thins into near transparency. These are not mere coincidences. They are echoes of a hidden architecture, subtle signposts woven into the fabric of existence, inviting us to awaken from the slumber of mechanistic thinking and glimpse the cosmic symphony in which we are both audience and performer. One of the guiding pillars here is the recognition of an underlying pattern, not chaos, nor random happenstance, but a pulse of intelligent order humming beneath the surface of our perceived reality. This order does not impose itself as rigid law, but flows like a river of meaning, fluid and responsive, shaped by the contours of consciousness itself. It is here that synchronicity reveals its paradoxical nature, seemingly spontaneous yet profoundly purposeful, personal yet universal, fleeting yet eternal. It suggests that beneath the layers of separation and fragmentation, imposed by our mind's habit of slicing time into moments and isolating events into unrelated fragments, there exists an indivisible continuum, a cosmic weave where every thread vibrates with shared resonance. To understand this further, we must consider the role of illusion and the veil it casts upon our perception. Much like shadows dancing on Plato's cave wall, our conventional reality often misleads, presenting a fractured mosaic of disconnected occurrences that obscure the unbroken truth beneath. The illusion of separation convinces us that we are solitary actors, each navigating a chaotic world devoid of meaning, where randomness is king and purpose merely a human construct. Yet synchronicity whispers a different tale, one that strips away the layers of illusion like autumn leaves drifting to reveal the perennial root beneath. that everything is interlaced within a grander design, a living web of cause and effect that bends not just through space, but through the hidden realms of intention and spirit. In this cosmic interplay, time itself is seen not as a linear arrow, but as a multidimensional spiral winding endlessly between the layers of reality. Synchronicities emerge as portals within this spiral, moments where the external world and internal psyche resonate in perfect harmony, reflecting each other like twin stars bound by invisible gravity. These moments often arise unexpectedly, shimmering with symbolism and emotional charge, beckoning us towards deeper realms of self-awareness and expanded consciousness. The heart of synchronicity lies in its capacity to serve as a mirror, revealing to us the unspoken languages of the soul, the hidden codes embedded in dreams, symbols, and fleeting chance encounters. At a more profound level, the guiding framework of synchronicity aligns with a principle that some esoteric traditions name as the unity of all things. This principle suggests that what we perceive as separate, random events are in truth threads in a single tapestry, each seemingly independent but ultimately interdependent, woven together by a consciousness that transcends individual selves and philosophies. The thread that connects these moments could be thought of as the subtle hum of the collective unconscious, a vast reservoir of archetypal forms and eternal truths that beckon to us from beyond the veil of personal identity. Carl Jung, who first gave voice to the term synchronicity, saw this phenomenon as a bridge linking the inner psychic world with the outer physical universe, a living proof that meaning can spontaneously arise beyond the bounds of causality as conventionally understood. This bridge challenges the conventional worldview, which insists on delineated cause and effect chains, forcing a reconsideration of reality as something more fluid and participatory. It invites a recognition that the universe is not a mechanical clockwork, but a conscious organism, responsive and alive, whose intelligence manifests not only in the grand cosmic design, but in the smallest, most intimate of moments. In this sense, synchronicity becomes a language, a cosmic tongue spoken not in words or numbers, but in signs, symbols, and timing, a language that demands attunement and sensitivity for decoding. At the heart of this language lies a profound truth about our own role in the unfolding drama of existence. Synchronicity reveals destiny not as a predetermined script, cold and fixed, but as a co-creative process, a dance in which we are invited to participate actively with openness and awareness. It postulates that by raising our consciousness and attuning to the subtle signals that ripple through our daily lives, we begin to align ourselves with the deeper currents of fate and free will intertwined. Here, destiny is not a chain that binds but a river that carries, the flow of our choices harmonizing with the universe's own melody, allowing us to step into the roles that resonate most authentically with our soul's purpose. Yet, the mystery remains as enigmatic as it is alluring. Synchronicity resists simplistic explanations and defies the neat compartments of rational discourse because it dwells in the twilight zone where science and spirituality meet, where measurable phenomena converge with mystical experience. It challenges the very boundaries between observer and observed, reminding us that the act of perception itself colors the reality we encounter. Thus, synchronicity is as much about the transformation of consciousness as it is about the external events themselves, a subtle invitation to awaken to the interconnectedness that breathes life into all things. This profound intertwining of internal and external, illusion and truth, randomness and design, draws us into a worldview where meaning becomes the fundamental currency of reality. It invites us to consider that beneath the surface of apparent disorder lies a cosmic intelligence, whose expressions are as varied as the stars but always coherent in their deeper purpose. Here, the mystery of synchronicity is not a puzzle to be solved with logic alone, but a riddle to be lived, felt, and intuited in the silent spaces between moments. In the end, this unfolding awareness opens a door onto the realization that destiny may well be less a fixed destination and more a labyrinthine journey encoded in the very patterns of coincidence that brush against our lives. It calls us to become fluent in the language of symbols and timing, to develop an intuitive knowing that transcends linear reason, and to embrace the flow of life with a heart open to wonder. For in the shimmering interplay of synchronicity, we catch glimpses of the universe conversing with us, and in listening, we begin to hear the quiet music of our own souls unfolding, an eternal dance, always inviting, always mysterious, forever ours to join. In the garden of the cosmos, where time unfurls like a slow and fragrant bloom, there lies an ancient story whispered among the stars, an allegory of a traveler named Orin, who sought the elusive thread of destiny woven into the fabric of the universe. Orin's journey was not marked by grand conquests or heroic battles, but by the quiet recognition of moments that shimmered with uncanny significance, like dew catching the morning light in a hidden glade. Each encounter, each whispered coincidence, was a petal on a flower that spoke not in words but in the language of symbols, urging Orin to perceive beyond the veils of ordinary experience. Orin once found himself at a crossroads where the paths were many and none promised certainty. As twilight deepened, a firefly appeared, glowing with a rhythm that seemed almost sentient, darting back and forth as if weaving a luminous thread through the gathering dusk. The firefly's dance was a seemingly trivial event, yet it sparked a deep resonance within Orin's heart. He followed the light, surrendering to the subtle guidance it offered, and soon the path revealed a hidden grove where a stone stood, inscribed with strange markings that thrummed with ancient wisdom. The stone did not speak in language but in a silent echo of recognition, an invitation to awaken to a reality where the small and the vast, the seen and the unseen, were interlaced in a delicate balance of meaning. This story of Orin is a mirror to the ever-unfolding dance of synchronicity within our own lives, where seemingly random flickers of light or chance meetings carry the imprint of a greater design. It illustrates how such moments are not merely happenstance but coded signs, symbols sent by a cosmic intelligence that invites us to step beyond linear time and into a labyrinth of interconnected signs. Like Orin, we are called to trust the subtle pulse of these synchronistic events, to follow their glow with a heart attuned to the whispers of the universe, and to recognize that destiny is not a rigid script but a living dialogue between soul and cosmos. Another tale emerges from the mists of ancient wisdom, that of the weaver of stars, a celestial artist who crafts the tapestry of fate by stitching together the threads of moments, each not a coincidence, each pattern a secret message. The weaver's loom hums with the silent music of existence, a melody too intricate for human ears yet felt deeply in the quiet breaths between thoughts. One day, a young seeker, unaware of the weaver's artistry, hastened through life, chasing the future like a fleeting shadow, blind to the dance of patterns beneath his feet. Yet the weaver's threads gently tugged at his cloak, guiding him through encounters with strangers bearing cryptic gifts, through dreams laden with symbols that defied ordinary logic. It was only when the seeker paused, when he ceased striving and opened his eyes to the mosaics of meaning that surrounded him, that the tapestry revealed itself. The celestial patterns morphed from chaos into a coherent language, a map that illuminated the seeker's soul journey. This allegory speaks to the necessity of stillness and attentiveness in perceiving synchronicity, revealing that destiny is woven not in the hurried grasping of control, but in the patient attuning to the universe's subtle signals, those silent strokes that sketch the contours of our unfolding story. In yet another cosmic fable, the moon and the ocean dance their eternal waltz, a metaphor for the rhythm of synchronicity that pulses through existence. The moon, distant yet intimately connected to the tides below, pulls the ocean's waves in a subtle embrace, orchestrating a symphony of rise and fall, ebb and flow. This celestial relationship is not unlike the dialogue between our inner world and the outer cosmos, a dynamic interplay where unseen forces shape the currents of our experience. The ocean's waves, like synchronous events, emerge and recede, their timing never random but orchestrated in perfect harmony with the moon's silent command. Within this metaphor lies a profound lesson about surrender. Our destiny, like the tides, is moved by forces greater than the conscious mind. To resist is to fight the natural flow and invite dissonance. To yield is to become part of a greater rhythm, a cosmic ballet where every coincidence is a wave lifting us toward the shores of self-realization. Here, the mystery of synchronicity unveils itself as an eternal dance, not merely a sequence of events but a living pulse, a heartbeat in the vast ocean of being, calling us to synchronize our inner rhythms with the universe's timeless cadence. These symbolic narratives do not offer easy answers, for the enigma of synchronicity defies the confines of reductionist thought. Instead, they open portals into realms where meaning transcends measurement, inviting us to experience life as an unfolding myth, a story written not with ink but with moments of alignment, where every thread of coincidence is imbued with the sacred geometry of fate. Through Orion's gentle journey, the weaver's silent artistry, and the moon's eternal dance with the ocean, we are reminded that destiny is less a preordained path and more a living conversation, an intricate dance where the language of symbols guides us toward the hidden architecture of our soul's purpose. In embracing these stories, we awaken to the idea that synchronicity is the universe's way of speaking to us in parables and poetry, in the shimmering reflections of a chance glance or the unexpected crossing of paths. It is the cosmic scriptwriter's subtle hand, ever at work, shaping our narrative with grace and mystery. And as we listen to the firefly's glow, the weaver's loom, the moon's pull, we begin to see that our destiny is not a distant endpoint but a sacred pilgrimage through the enchanted forest of signs, where meaning blooms in every shadow and the soul's true compass is found in the heart's quiet knowing. To weave the cosmic whispers of synchronicity into the fabric of our daily lives is to begin an alchemical transformation of perception itself. It is no mere intellectual pastime, but a soulful recalibration, a subtle shift from living within the confines of linear time to embracing a dance with the eternal now. When one starts to recognize the sacred pulse threading through seemingly random encounters, mundane moments take on a luminous glow, as if the universe itself is winking knowingly in the midst of ordinary existence. The art of noticing, the delicate attunement to signs, symbols, and layered meanings, becomes a daily practice of awakening, a way to re-enchant the world and rediscover the magic hidden within the mundane. Imagine, for a moment, that each coincidence is like a star flickering in the vast night sky of your personal story. These stars, though small and distant, form constellations that guide your steps across the wilderness of uncertainty. When you begin to follow these constellations, your unfolding journey transforms from a blind meander into a voyage marked by intentional revelation. Perhaps you encounter a stranger whose words resonate deep within your being just when you need them most, or you stumble upon a book that seems to answer a question you didn't know you were asking. These occurrences are not accidents, but echoes of a universe whispering through the corridors of time, inviting you to listen, to trust, and to respond. As you cultivate this openness, you grant yourself permission to step beyond the surface of cause and effect, and to perceive the choreography of a deeper design. In this living dialogue with synchronicity, the self shifts from a passive observer to an active participant, a co-creator of destiny rather than a mere recipient of fate. This calls for an abandonment of the rigid scripts we often impose upon our lives, those narratives forged by fear, habit, or the illusion of control. The universe is not a clockwork mechanism ticking endlessly toward predetermined outcomes, but a vast loom weaving threads of possibility in patterns that only gradually reveal themselves. By surrendering to this cosmic flow, you may find your sense of agency and freedom expanding simultaneously. For true freedom arises not from resistance or rigid planning, but from a trust in the mysterious intelligence animating all things. Your choices become not isolated acts, but notes in a symphony, harmonizing with the universe's deeper song. Yet, living with synchronicity as a guide demands cultivating a heart both vigilant and tender. It asks you to learn the language of symbols with a keen but gentle eye, to discern between genuine calls and the noise of distraction without falling into superstition. When a moment speaks, it often comes cloaked in subtlety, a ripple on a pond rather than a thunderclap. This is why mindfulness becomes an essential companion on this path, a practice of anchoring yourself in presence so that the signals piercing through the fog of everyday life are not lost. To cultivate this presence is to become attuned to the texture of your inner landscape, where intuition and insight often reside, waiting to be stirred by the outer world's mysterious invitations. A quiet mind becomes a lens that reveals the sacred pattern threading through random events. In the realm of relationships, synchronicity offers a profound lens through which to view connection and encounter. The chance meetings, the uncanny repetitions of themes or names, the moments when a friend's words seem to carry a hidden message, these are not simply happenstance. They are the universe's way of choreographing human interactions into a meaningful dance, suggesting that no meeting is trivial. Within this framework, relationships take on a sacred dimension. Each person becomes a mirror reflecting aspects of your own journey back to you, a signpost pointing toward deeper truths. This transforms how you approach conflict, love, and collaboration, teaching lessons of patience, insight, and surrender to the unfolding script that life writes through you and with you. On a more tangible level, embracing synchronicity can reshape how you approach choices, challenges, and opportunities. Rather than relying solely on logic or plan, you begin to listen for the subtle nudges that arise when your outer world aligns with your inner compass. These moments call for a delicate balance between discernment and surrender, between action and receptivity. It might be a sudden coincidence that brings news of a job opportunity, a chance conversation that illuminates a creative project, or a symbolic dream that reveals a path forward. Incorporating these experiences into your decision-making is not about abandoning reason, but about enriching it with a dimension of sacred intuition, allowing your steps to be guided not just by what seems immediately practical, but by what resonates with your highest self and deepest purpose. In the modern world, where distraction is the currency of attention and the flow of time often feels fractured, learning to recognize synchronicity becomes, paradoxically, an act of radical grounding. It pulls you back from the fragmented narratives of anxiety and overwhelm into a holistic awareness where everything is interconnected and meaningful. This realization can ripple outward into all areas of your life, how you relate to work, to creativity, to the natural world. For example, when you begin to perceive your professional challenges as part of a larger story of growth rather than mere obstacles, your approach shifts from struggle to curiosity. You might notice patterns that suggest when to push forward and when to pause, allowing the currents of fate to carry you with greater ease and grace. The integration of these cosmic insights also invites a renewed reverence for the subtle signs your body and emotions provide. Often, synchronicity manifests not only in external events, but also as internal shifts, unexpected surges of emotion, flashes of sudden clarity, or inexplicable senses of knowing. By honoring these internal signals alongside the outer coincidences, you cultivate a dialogue between your inner and outer worlds, a sacred feedback loop that deepens self-understanding and trust. This embodied awareness anchors you in a reality where destiny is not an abstract concept, but a palpable force moving through your flesh and spirit, urging you toward alignment with your true path. To live attuned to synchronicity is to embrace a life rich with wonder, mystery, and continuous invitation. It calls you to become a seeker of hidden meaning in the spaces between moments, a steward of the stories in which you are both author and protagonist. As these moments of alignment accumulate, they form a mosaic of purpose that reveals itself not all at once, but through patient unfolding, much like the night sky slowly revealing its constellations as darkness deepens. In this way, your destiny is not a rigid destination, but an ever-evolving narrative co-authored by your soul and the universe's infinite intelligence. The path is less about arriving and more about walking, the sacred pilgrimage of becoming in harmony with the enigmatic dance of synchronicity. As the last threads of this cosmic tapestry weave themselves into consciousness, we are invited to pause and reflect on the grand orchestration that has been explored, a dance where synchronicity and destiny entwine like twin serpents spiraling along the spine of existence. What emerges from this vast unfolding is not merely a philosophical curiosity or an esoteric puzzle, but the intimate recognition that our lives pulse within a greater living matrix, one where meaning hums beneath the surface of chance, and where every encounter, every whispered coincidence, is a stroke upon the canvas of our becoming. To dwell in this awareness is to stand at the crossroads of mystery and mastery, to acknowledge that the universe speaks a language far older and deeper than words, a language written in the resonance of moments that exceed explanation, yet beckon understanding. Synchronicity is the silent melody threading through the chaos of seeming randomness, a subtle invitation to awaken from the slumber of ordinary perception and glimpse the vast, interwoven design beneath. It challenges the illusion that we are solitary wanderers, instead revealing us as co-creators, participants in a sacred dialogue with the cosmos itself. The notion of destiny, long burdened by images of fixed fate or predestined paths carved in stone, transforms here into a living, breathing narrative, an evolving story authored at the confluence of free will and cosmic intelligence. The intersections of chance and choice become portals through which the soul's deeper purpose filters into the waking world, accessible not through force or frantic pursuit, but through quiet openness and attuned presence. To follow these synchronic threads is to engage in a pilgrimage of subtle receptivity, a surrender that paradoxically empowers, allowing the hidden architecture of reality to gently reveal itself, step by step. Yet this journey is not without its shadows. The very fabric of synchronicity provokes us to confront the tensions between order and chaos, certainty and mystery, control and surrender. It asks us to embrace the unknown with courage, trusting that behind every enigmatic sign lies a seed of transformation. In the alchemical crucible of lived experience, these moments of alignment become sacred echoes, calling us back to the essence of who we are beneath the layers of social conditioning and fragmented identity. They invite us to dwell in the liminal space where time and meaning blur, where past, present, and future converge in a timeless now pregnant with possibility. This is the heart of the mystery. That destiny is less a destination fixed by a distant hand and more a continuous unfolding, an ever-shifting dance between internal resonance and external synchronicity, between conscious intention and the silent wisdom of the universe. To engage with this mystery is to cultivate a form of seeing that transcends the surface, a way of perceiving that is simultaneously intimate and expansive, grounded and transcendental. It is the invitation to become a seeker not of answers alone, but of deeper questions, to live within the sacred dialogue of becoming rather than merely arriving. In the final reckoning, the dance of synchronicity and destiny reveals itself as an expression of the universe's infinite creativity and intelligence, a sacred interplay where each moment is both a mystery to be revered and a guidepost to be followed. It is here, in this delicate balance, that transformation occurs, not as an abrupt rupture but as a graceful unfolding, a blossoming of consciousness that awakens us to the truth that we are, each of us, threads woven into the endless fabric of cosmic story. May this understanding inspire you to walk your path with renewed reverence and curiosity, to listen deeply to the subtle whispers of the universe that ripple through your days like the gentle pulse of starlight across midnight skies. Let the mysterious synchronicities that touch your life be not mere happenstance, but sacred signposts, markers of a destiny co-created in the silent communion between your soul and the eternal. In embracing this truth, you step into the luminous unfolding of your own becoming, a radiant journey illuminated by the quiet magic of interconnectedness, the profound poetry of timing, and the endless dance of meaning woven through the vastness of existence itself.